I think one thing people need to know is that unhealthy relationships come from all forms. It's not about race.
Yeah.
There are good men in Uganda, in Africa.
Very good men, yes. That's what we are going through, but we are silent about it.
All of us who are in interracial relationships are suffering. They do her in the anus, you know.
Oh my God.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is wmbw if you are new here, and I have my friend who you already know, Leticia from Let Inspired channel. We did some videos together in the past. She's here with me because we are going to be talking about a topic that most of you are very interested in, because I believe like 70% actually of my channel are interested in interracial relationships. And her channel is actually mostly about interracial relationships and online dating. So if you are into online dating and interracial relationships, please go and check it out. There is so much to learn from her. So today she's here with me to discuss about things that that has been on my mind. Actually, something that like really pisses me off, that I've been seeing going around for some good time. I think it has always been there, but it is rarely addressed. These are assumptions that the public has on us who are in interracial relationships. And there is one major thing that really annoys me. I was discussing with Leticia earlier, and she was like, yeah, actually I've seen that before, and I've experienced some of these things too. So we're like, how about we talk about them? So there are so many assumptions, but this major one that has been too much lately is, I think, mostly from failed relationships from interracial couples. And there have been a lot of failed relationships.
Very many.
Yeah. Both interracial relationships and other relationships.
And non-interracial relationships.
But mostly people, I think, focus so much on interracial relationships. Those ones that fail, that are not interracial, people don't like put so much emphasis on them. But interracial relationships that have failed, they are so much emphasized on. And so these people judge us. And when these women come out, I've been seeing a lot of them on YouTube who come out to talk about why their marriages failed, their relationships failed. I'm not judging them for the failure of their marriages. Of course, any relationship can fail or can work. It doesn't matter whether it's
on YouTube.
Yes.
But I thought that is common on TikTok.
It's on TikTok, but it's on YouTube as well. I've recently, like in the last week, I've seen like 3 that have been trending that have failed. And when you read people's comments, and these people actually mentioned us. That's the worst part. They mention that they're like, hey, think about them also.
Oh my God.
You know, like people mention us in comments. I'm like, what? You can't be comparing me to these people.
Wait, like, because one thing I know is that your relationship is not so much in public.
It's not so much in public. This is also one of the reasons why I don't like to put my relationship out there. But the very little that I've shared, like people, you know, people are so much into it and they assume things because I don't share so much.
Yes,
so like,
by the way,
she's going through this. Maybe
by the way,
because you've decided not to share
when
so
you don't
much.
share so much about your relationship in public, by the way, people will assume things. Or maybe the reason why she's not posting him is because of this and that. And
people also email me and they're like, even men, actually, white men also, not only women. White men email me or send me DMs on Instagram. I can be better than him if he's not treating you.
Oh my God, like you can be.
You know, like people just assume things. So these things that we assume are really not true. And I personally am not happy, and some other people that are in the relationships in the same space as me are not as happy with your judgments that you put on us. So this assumption of mostly that these people who break up with their partners, they say that white men are abusive, and that all of us who are in interracial relationships are suffering.
I'm not some of those people, like,
you know, but the people, like, that's what they say. They be like, especially these women who come out to talk about their failed relationships, when they're listing their reasons why their relationships failed, which are actually valid. They're actually very valid. I'm not like saying they judging them or anything, because abusive men are there, toxic men are
they
there,
do exist.
a lot. They do. But when they come out, most of them, they try to say that even those people that you see they are out there on maybe on TikTok, on YouTube, they are pretending they are going through this and that.
Yeah,
my dear, we are happy. We are not going through all that, whether those people are going through all that, but there are people who are in healthy relationships. Me, as myself, I talk from myself. My man is a good man. I'm in a healthy relationships. He's a very good man. He has treated me very well. The happiest, I think it's actually the healthiest relationships I've been in. That has helped me to be the best version of myself. Has helped me to become who I am by supporting me. You know, when they say supporting you, they say, because of money or what on all aspects of life.
Yes.
So, support me to achieve my dreams, support me to be a good person. So
I mean, there are very many healthy relationships we've seen out there. Your relationship, my relationship, and other relationships. So in most cases, such girls who are in toxic relationships, they think just because men are treating them or are abusing them, and you know, that's what we are going through, but we are silent about it, which is not true.
It is not true, my dear.
Relationships.
Leticia has a good man. I know other people who have good men. There are very good men out there. If you are unlucky, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate.
Not everyone is unhappy like as you are. I think one thing people need to know is that unhealthy relationships come from all forms. It's not about race. There are good men in Uganda, in Africa.
Very good men, yes.
In other races. So it's not about the race that these people are good, these people are bad. There are toxic men in white men. There are toxic men in black men. So it's about somebody's heart. Stop thinking that because somebody is white, so people are suffering silently. Or because somebody is white, you're going to live a best life ever. It's all about somebody's heart. You know? Yeah,
and another thing, it's good that some of those ladies come out and talk about what they are going through. It's an example that not all interracial relationships are healthy, and it also opens eyes of those people who are ready to get into interracial relationships, that you might be unlucky and meet a person who is like this one, who is very toxic. And then if you are very lucky, you might meet a partner who is like Fifi's partner. You know, so not all interracial relationships are healthy, that's right, but we were lucky to find good men. And just because you found a bad man, it doesn't mean that we are all suffering. No,
we are not suffering. There is also these other things that people say. And these actually make me laugh, because mostly these people be telling some friends of my sister or like relatives, that, you know, people think that, okay, yes, it is intercultural, so they are actually, we face some challenges trying to get along with growing up from different cultures, different backgrounds. But then there is this thing that people always say, that you see that girl with a white man, that one is suffering because, you know, they are, how do I say it? Like they do her in the anus, you know.
Oh my God! Like, you know, like, really?
Okay, to make a general point, like, they make us do things that we are not normal, that we are not comfortable with.
Yes.
Yeah. You know. So I also want to say that is not true.
I think we know when it comes to relationships, you need like, communication is very important.
Yes.
There are girls I've seen talk about it, and by the way, this is something I've seen on TikTok. There is some girl, she met her white man in Kenya. She's a Ugandan. She traveled to Kenya. She met her white man there, and then according to how they were narrating her story, the man asked her, "Are you okay with anal sex?" Just because she was desperate, she said yes, she's okay with it. So when they reached there, they did all whatever. They did the anal thing and everything. And then they also used these artificial dildos and whatever. And she's now in a bad condition. The man left her with only 8 million and left the country. He's back to Europe. So sometimes the reason why some girls are in toxic relationships is because they are desperate.
Yes.
So your desperation sometimes can make you get into bad relationships. But when you are someone who knows your boundaries, when you communicate and be like, these are
what you want,
things I cannot
settle in for this. Yeah.
These are things I cannot tolerate in a relationship, and you communicate them in
about those things
in the early stages of the relationship. It will help your partner to know that Fifi cannot tolerate this. If I do this, the relationship is done. Or, so sometimes communication is really important. If you just go there,
but you know where the problem is with our African sisters, especially. Most of them are desperate, sorry to say, but this is the truth. So when they meet a white man, they put down all their values.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, he likes me.
Yeah, he loves
you
me.
pretend to like the things that you are not comfortable with. Then you'll be like, I want a threesome. You in your life you've never had a threesome. You know you are not comfortable with it, but just because he's white and you wanted a white man all your life, you're like, yes, I can tolerate that. But deep down, you know that you don't want that.
And with time, you realize that you don't like it, and then later you come out in public to say, all men are like this, all white men are like this.
Yeah.
No, it's not something you accepted.
Yeah.
No, it's not something that I would accept. It's not something you would accept. But because that person accepted it, that's why they are going through that.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the relationship, whether it is interracial or any other relationship, always state what you want. Be honest with yourself, especially.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. Do not pretend just to win this man. You know, like there is this mentality that many women have, like it's all about getting a white man as long as he loves me.
A white man is like any other human being.
Yes,
just
like
colors.
So be honest with yourself, what you can tolerate and what you can't. And these people, when you tell him that this I cannot tolerate, that's okay.
By the way,
you accept things at the beginning of the relationship. Then later, if they start bringing in threesomes and annual sex and all that nonsense that you are not used to, and then you can't take it anymore, and then you leave the relationship, and then you start branding all men that all men are like this. No, my man has never been that kind of person, and from the beginning of the relationships we communicated the things that we can.
By the way, that is something I think, because I don't know if I still have those questions, but I think I have them because there are some questions Ian asked me, and there are some questions I asked him. There are some things we really asked ourselves. We even gave ourselves a break of a week, not talking to each other, like saying like, are we really, like, do we really need each other? Like, there are some things we did in our early stages of the relationship until we realized we are meant for each other.
And many people ignore that actually, the early stages of relationships, when they are being asked questions, instead of like asking questions and getting to know each other, they jump into I love you, I love you. Whatever the man asks, he's like, yes, I'm okay with it, I'm okay with it. In the early stages of relationships, that is why it is called dating.
Dating, yes.
Can you tolerate this? Can you be with this person? Can you handle their behavior?
Yes.
Don't fall in love immediately. Get to know this person. So if you fall in love immediately, you just accept whatever he says. You say, yes, I'm in. Yes. Just because maybe you want to go to UK, maybe you want to go where.
And by the way,
end up in that situation. Then you end up branding all men like they are bad men. When it is your fault, totally your fault.
And by the way, in most cases, when a man sees that, like, you have no boundaries, he can do anything, and you're like, yes, I'm okay, that man will never respect you.
Of course.
In most cases, when people say that gundi ye panka, or in high school, when girls used to say, that guy shows off, ye panka, he doesn't talk to people, all that. With time, I realized that it was not because that guy like shows off or is like this. It's because he had boundaries. He has standards. He's not going to talk all the girls and everything and all that. So in most cases, when you have boundaries as a person, It will make people respect you. It will make people know their limits. So when you are trying to look for love in interracial relationships, let these men know their boundaries. Let know that
set your standards and
yes,
do not lower them.
Let them know that Shakila cannot tolerate this. I really need Shakila in my life. There are some things, there are some toxic behaviors I need to put aside to keep Shakila. You need to make this man feel like he needs to be a better man for you. We are not perfect, but because we meet people who have boundaries, who cannot tolerate some stuff, so we have to be like, to get this man, to be with this man, there are some things I need to leave behind. You know, so having boundaries as a woman is really important. Showing a man that you know what you want, and you need to be smart.
Yes.
You have to show the man that you are very smart, you know what you want. So, but if you are this yes, because if you are a yes woman, he will think you will be a yes woman to other people.
Yeah.
So those are things you should really consider when dating.
Yeah, so to wind up, if you are in a relationship and you're suffering, you should not be suffering.
Yeah.
There are healthy relationships out there. There are good men out there. And I do not condone this habit of where, like, the mentality we have in Africa, that when you are there, you should be there until the end, no matter the suffering.
Yes,
that
yeah.
If you are in unhealthy relationships, you can leave. It is okay.
Yeah.
You can leave if you made a mistake. We all do mistakes.
Yes.
But that was to people who are in unhealthy relationships and are suffering and are thinking that maybe all of us are suffering.
Because you have to ask yourself.
Our relationships are not perfect, but we are not suffering. We are not
By the way, I don't want people to be like, oh, they are trying to say their relationships are perfect. No, we sometimes argue.
Some arguments
ups and downs,
in a while, like any other couple, but we
know how to overcome those challenges, how to solve them. We communicate with our partners and like mature people, but not in a toxic way. No way. The way I love myself. I cannot allow a man to abuse me, because I'm someone like should I say I'm big-headed, like I'm very outspoken. I can speak out and tell you this. I can't tolerate it.
There's no way you can disrespect me because I love myself too much
like
to be where I am not appreciated.
I value my mental health.
That is number one.
Yes.
So if you're not happy, leave.
But just
I always say that, and that person maybe is not meant for you, because if somebody is meant for you, you will feel
they will respect
you. Right, you respect you. They love you. They make sure you are happy. You know.
And you can't be in a healthy relationship for the rest of your life. You know,
you'll be killing yourself.
There is someone out there who's ready to love you, respect you, and be there for you.
Yeah.
So.
And also, that was for people who are already there.
Yeah.
So those who are not yet there and are looking forward to get into interracial relationships, into any relationship.
Yes, any relationship.
Consider these things that we have talked about. When it is talking stage, talk about the things that you cannot tolerate.
Yeah.
And if this man is not has those behaviors that you cannot tolerate, do not go ahead just because he's white, or just because he has money, or he has something that you're looking forward to. Shouldn't make you make that decision, because that is like to get married to someone. That is a big decision.
It's a big decision,
you cannot
and
take that lightly. So please be smart. Always love yourself. Choose yourself first,
and be careful. Not everyone out there is good, you know. So.
And then lastly, stop assuming that all of us are suffering.
We are not suffering. I'm not suffering. Fifi is not suffering. So please.
Please save us the drama. We are okay, and our men are okay. And I want to appreciate all the men, both white and black and Asian and whatever, all the good men that are out there treating well the women. We appreciate you.
Respect.
May God bless you. We respect you so much. Okay, thank you for watching the video. We've come to the end, and I've been Fifi Baitom and Leticia from Get Inspired channel. Please go check it out. There is so much to learn from there. I'm going to link the link to her channel in the description and also in the comments, so please go and check it out and show her some love.
Thanks for subscribing in advance.
Thank you so much. We love you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.